What's going on, guys? How in the world are y'all doing? Welcome to Horse Talk Live, where we talk about the nitty gritty of horse training, try to debunk some of the myths, tell you what you need to know, get all the nonsense and the fluff out of the way, and just make it crystal clear communication for you guys so that you can find the success and confidence that you guys are looking for. We have so much exciting stuff up on the horizons. We have a virtual clinic that's coming your way. Stay tuned. We'll give you guys the info. It's coming over the next few days. We've been shooting it and filming it. So even if you guys can't make it to a clinic, you can watch the clinic. You'll be able to see it. So the other thing that's super exciting is we really want to give back and help the horse industry. The horse industry has been so nice to us and has allowed us to provide for my family, has allowed me to live this amazing life. So I want to give back. And after a lot of soul searching, talking about it and going back and forth with ideas, what legacy do we want to leave? What do we want to do? We came up with, we want to be the first people to give it all away for free. So for the summer of 2022, we are going to be giving away a free VIP membership to you guys. Over 700 videos of world-class horsemanship that has taken me generations of experience and a decade of traveling the world, working with some of the best mentors that the world has to offer, from Mongolian racers to Spanish Olympian dressage riders, to Mexican vaqueros, to American reiners, to Australian colt starters, to everything in between, Liberty trainers from the Czech Republic, all over the place. Just a crazy list of mentors that I've been able to put together over the past 10 years and put it all in one place and really weed through all that information, test it and trial test it with more horses than I can count, and tell you, hey, that works. That's something to put in your toolbox, but it doesn't work for all horses. That's a gimmick. That's fluff. We really just simplified and said, hey, cause and effect. This works. This is why. This works. This is why. And we made over 700 videos for you guys, and we're so happy to be able to give it away. I said for the free 99. Check out in the bio below and the link below. You'll be able to get your information to sign up for it for free. Okay, now that I'm over the for free stuff, let's get to some of the questions. Question number 1. What can be done if for some reason you find yourself out on a trail and you are joining by a sketch herd of wild ponies with a stallion, either by yourself or with other riders? Kind of like the whole bear thing. A lot of times we have a breeding stallion with our brood mares that is in my favorite field to train horses to get into a pond and water. And when you get in there, as long as you stand your ground, remember, you're up and above them. If you're loud, if you're standing your ground, those horses are going to want to shy from you. Those horses are going to want to move away from you. It's the riders who get timid and kind of back up, and now their horse is backing up, and both the horse and the rider are looking kind of scared, looking kind of worried. That will get the stallion to puff up. That will get those other horses in the herd to puff up and start coming forward. But if you're loud and ridiculous and over the top, very similar to pushing, if you're herding sheep or pushing steers and cattle around, be loud, be big. You're on top of a horse. Be scarier than, basically you're a centaur to those other horses. Every other horse has nobody on their back. You're on your horse's back. So be loud and over the top. If you've gone through the respect series, then your horse is used to you being loud and over the top, so it's not an issue, and you're really not going to have much of an issue. Question number 2. Do you have any clinics for young horses or yearlings? Absolutely. All of my clinics are open to the public, open to any horse you want to bring in. And it's been that way from the beginning. In the beginning, when I started doing clinics, I couldn't fill the clinics because I didn't have a name or any recognition. So I had to say, hey, for this clinic, I will work anything. Well, people took anything very seriously. I would say, ma'am, I'm ready for your horse. They say, honey, back up the trailer to the round pen. I was like, oh, buddy, we're in trouble. So That just became the norm. Then that became what I was used to. So now at this point, we're one of the very few clinicians who show up to an expo and people, okay, what kind of horse do you want? What do you not want? And we're like, anything that shows up, we're good. It doesn't matter. If they can get it there, we can work with it. And that's how we feel for the clinic. So if you, from anything from a wingling, a mother and foal, a yearling, just doesn't matter. Whatever level they're at, we're happy to work with them at our clinics. Question number 3. Any tips for a horse that paws in the trailer? Absolutely. Number 1, does that horse stand tied? Does he have patience? More times than not, the horse that paws in the trailer, when you tie him up and leave him there, they paw there too. Well, that lets you know that they haven't had enough patience time. They haven't had enough standing still. You can always hobble train them to have front leg hobbles, and that really gets rid of a lot of pawing. But I'm really not trying to do that if I haven't gone through patience tying first, where they just stand there, an hour or 2 a day, just relaxing, just hanging out under the shade tree. Every horse at Gascon horsemanship gets a minimum of an hour a day tied. So, especially in the beginning, whenever I didn't have any help, well, that's what started my system. I would get a horse, catch it, brush it off, groom it, laser sheen, do all those things, saddle it up, go work it. When I got done working it, I would bathe it, clean it, laser sheen it, braid up its tail, and then it would stand there under a fan while I worked the next horse. Well, that might take me an hour, hour and a half. When I come back, if that horse was still fiddle farting around or pawing or acting, I would leave it there tied, and then do the same thing with the horse that I just rode, and then go get the next one. I'd come back. If they were quiet, I'd put them away, or I'd give them turnout. If they were still acting a fool, I would go get another horse and work and leave them tied. Very quickly, the horses don't want to act like buffoons. They want to get real quiet, and that directly correlates. How they stand tied up is directly correlated to how they stand tied in the trailer. Question number 4. Hi, Michael. Lucky to catch you live. Have watched you in many videos and very impressed. Thank you. Have a new gelding that I have recently acquired, 5 years old, has a summer sore on his left rear fetlock. I need to get medical ointment on it, but he is a bad kicker when I try to get near that foot. Any suggestions? Absolutely. If you have a horse that you're trying to doctor their back end, their tail, anything like that, tie up a leg. It's the easiest, safest way. So instead of hobbling 2 legs together, instead, you're going to tie one leg up. Again, you can see that in our membership, which we're giving away for free. Free 99. Check out the link in the bio below. Well, we have a video on how to hobble one leg up. What that does is it turns your horse into a tripod. So if it's the back left foot, you say back left, tie up the front left. Well, then they're a tripod and they're not going to be able to kick you. They're going to have a real hard time getting that foot up to kick you. So you're going to be able to work safely. You're going to be able to put that ointment on safely. And that's the name of the game, is be safe. Safety is the most important thing in horsemanship. If you get hurt, you can't help any more horses. Question number 5. How do I get a horse not buddy sour? I have to walk him a few hundred yards away so he won't rear. I ride him through it, but he's scared of the girls. He's perfect other than that. Great. If he's rearing is short for resistance. Okay, that might not be true, but now it is. I just made that up. Rearing is short for resistance. A horse that rears is not soft in the face. And you say, well, yes, he is. Whenever he's not around his friends, he's not soft in the face. Very similar to your dog has good obedience, but you take him to the dog park, and then he's so worried about playing with other dogs or fighting with other dogs or chasing the cat that he doesn't stay obedient. What we want to do is gain control of your horse's head, get them really soft in the face and the butt where they're more worried about that leash, if you will, the rein, if you will, than being with their friends. The moment your horse respects your reins more than it respects the urge to go with his friends, because you disengage him, you flex him, you back him, he will no longer be buddy sour. Give me a problem, any problem. I show you how you know how enough control of your head. Buddy sour, barn sour, trailer sour, study, marish. The day that they respect those reins as your manual override more than they respect those urges to do those things melt away. So I never really try to go ride them around their friends. That's because that's a symptom of the issue. The real issue is the horse is too stiff. If the horse was softer and easier and would give no matter what, I have never in my life been taken by a horse that would give no matter what. Never in my life have I got run away with, bucked off from, or reared up on a horse that will give no matter what. Every single time that I've hit the dirt, every single time that I've been injured, every single time that a horse has flipped over, or reared up, or ran away, or done something, it's because in that moment they were incapable of giving. They took my steering wheel away, and that's where the issue lied. Question number 6. I have an issue with the come get me trick. On a bank off the roadside, my horse does it perfectly against the thing, but a fence, steps, tailgate, tractor, mounting block even. When I try the trick by the roadside, he thinks he needs to climb the bank, then descend, then climb, then repeat, and has even falling coming off 2 feet upper bank. Help. All right, so if you're trying to do it on something as confusing as that for a horse, like the horse can't really figure out, oh, you're up above them to step over, this is something that I don't suggest for everybody, but I have seen people teach the come get me trick from the ground, standing on the ground, reaching their hand up, and you basically get by the fence and you ask that horse to come your direction. So that horse says, even though you're on the ground, you can still do the come get me trick and bring me the fence. And just remember, now that you're on the ground doing the come get me trick, that the horse might step into your space. So be aware and be able to shut it down before that happens. Maybe if you add that extra lever to it, it'll make it easier for what you're asking your horse to do. Number 7. I'm not sure if this has been asked before, but we have a 9-day-old colt who has been getting mouthy. We want to correct the behavior before it gets out of control and he gets bigger. What would you or Michael suggest to correct the nipping? If he nips when being scratched, so I know it's a response to feeling good, but he's made contact twice. Absolutely. So 9 years old, 9 days old, 9 months old, makes no difference. Show them right from wrong and then reprimand them when they do wrong. So don't be afraid to back him up out of your space or bonk him in the muzzle whenever he bites you. The reason whenever you're scratching him, he's nipping you is because that's what 2 friends do. 2 friends, they sit there and they scratch each other and bite on each other's neck like that's cute. They don't do that with their mother. They don't do that with the alpha mare because they won't put up with it. And they'll pin their ears and they'll throw a kick. Doesn't mean that they don't like them. It doesn't mean they're being mean. It just means, hey, don't do that to me. So same thing. When he nips, bonk him once or twice. Back him up. Don't be afraid to put a little pressure. That baby's mother is already putting pressure whenever she sees that he's out of line in her book. So the horse is already learning from 9 days old what pressure and release is, what good and bad is, how to get away from pressure whenever she makes a mean face. So you can go ahead and start reprimanding him. Go ahead and show him, nope, I'm not going to accept that. Question number 8. How do you desensitize a horse to traffic, golf carts, big trucks, bikes, tractors without him spooking in the traffic? I don't have all these things to practice. Understandable. So hopefully you have something to try with him. But the big thing is to face the fear, to face what is coming. So if you are hopefully walking on the side of the road, if anything happens, you face up. Well, that's going to keep him from running into traffic because if he's facing his fear, he's not going to run towards it. He's going to run away from it. Well, if you're making him face, the only place he can go is backwards. So the big thing is just make sure that horse knows, face your fear. Face your, whatever you're scared of, look at it. Whatever you're scared of, face it. If you're scared and you try to go left, I'm going to disengage you to the right until you face it. If you go right and try to run away, I'm going to disengage you to the left and face it. If you can do that, you can get the horse over anything. I've had people say, hey, it's impossible to ride this horse around a bicycle or a truck or this or that. As soon as they get soft enough where we can manipulate their head and their butt, they just have to deal with it. They have to face up. And when you get them facing, you'll get those feet to stop moving so you don't end up in traffic. Question number 9. When my mare gets nervous, her go-to vice is pawing. I bend her head around to try and get her feet unstuck. She will bend her neck, but continues to paw. And I can't move her forward or get her to relax afterwards. What can I do to help her get through this? Especially does this when vehicles are involved. All right, so anytime your horse gets stuck and you're pulling them around to move them, we want to pull their head around and move their butt. So if you're saying, hey, I'm pulling on this rein and I can't get her butt to move, then put a crop in that inside hand. And when you get her face bent where she can't do anything about being cropped, then crop her on the flank, crop her on the butt. When those back feet break loose, release her and then do it again and release her and do it again. She's not going to paw and pivot at the same time. So if you have her butt moving and she's pivoting because her butt's moving, she's not going to be pawing. The next thing is that's going to free up her mind. Horses get that when they get stuck and it's almost like the motor's revving, but there's nowhere for the energy to go. And then they start doing wonky stuff. They start pawing. They start popping up. They start doing because there's too much pressure in the balloon and it's about to pop. So anytime a horse gets their feet stuck, bring their face to their butt. If you can't move their butt like that, number one, we should already have them softer and facing the butt. But if we can't move them, bring that crop towards her butt, bend her first, and then crop on her butt until her butt moves. When she's more worried about getting cropped on the butt, she won't lock up on you because she'll want to move her butt every time you move her face. Question number 10. Any suggestion for stretches for tight hips, stifles on the horse?
I think she posted the horse is also arthritic. So it's like a lock stifle and arthritis.
Got you. So usually, quite frankly, we don't do too many stretches other than warming them up, getting them some walking, getting them some trotting around. A lot of times if they're having, stifle issues or hock issues or hip issues, we have everything from a slew from chiropractors that work on them to vets who are willing to inject them to strengthen the stifle or relieve the fluid off of the hocks or give injection on the hips. We're trying to do those type of things. Acupuncture, we do acupuncture on our horses.
Beamer.
We beamer them. My sister does the beamer. We just do any kind of that kind of stuff. But you'll never see me, grabbing their legs and trying to flex them. Quite frankly, that's not my forte of being a chiropractor. And I would hate to do more damage than I'm doing good by picking up their legs and trying to get them all out of whack. So the best thing I can do is get them to drop their head and walk and trot and warm up and really get that sciatic fluid moving through their bones better, moving through their body better, where they loosen up.
Synovial fluid.
That's what I said.
You said sciatic.
Synovial, sciatic.
That's close enough.
You know what I meant.
I knew what you meant. Nobody else did, though.
Any idea of how to have a successful horse napping? Larry the Mustang is here with us for 10 days while his mom is on vacation. It's always hard to send him back home.
She wants to kidnap the horse. Larry the Mustang.
Horse napping.
Napping. I read it the first way too.
I was thinking about putting him to sleep, like, sing him a lullaby. I don't know. Oh, Larry, you can steal him with cookies. He likes him some cookies.
Tracy.
Thank you, Miss Tracy. I like to give the world simplicity too. Simplicity is key. When it comes to simplicity, if it's complicated in your mind, how are you going to turn around and tell your simple animal something that's complicated to you? You're the person. You're the smart one. So we need to simplify it to us. I feel like a lot of times people try to teach it, speaking horse, to people who don't speak horse yet. So it's almost like you're speaking a different language when it doesn't have to be complicated. I really don't like using big words and complicated references for horses because they're simple creatures. So we can make it simple. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Best cure for a horse that bolted when spooked. Control the head, control the horse. That no horse has ever bolted without his head. If you bring his head far enough around to his side that they disengage, they're going to give. I had somebody with me the other day that was arguing that their horse bolted with them and took them. And, I got it on video. Okay, let me see. And sure enough, the horse bolted with them. They grabbed them up by the face. But when you watch it back in real time, that horse's head only got about halfway to where it needed to get. And the horse locked out and kept going sideways. And that's why the horse prevailed and won in that situation. If the horse was soft enough to get his face over its spine or towards his hip where its back feet would have crossed up, we would have got that horse shut down. but the horse was strong enough in that moment to be able to take us. So if your horse is bolting, you need to get them softer left and right. Left and right controls where they go. If you have full control left and right, no horse can take you where you don't want to go. I repeat, that's a bold statement. I understand that, but it's a simple one. Cause and effect. If you have full control, left, right, nothing else. Horse doesn't stop. Horse doesn't know anything. Horse is a colt start. You rode it 2 times. If you have full control, left and right, the horse cannot buck with you, cannot rear with you, cannot run with you. Because if you have full control, you pull his face, you move his butt. The second you move his butt and cross over his back feet, you just took away its motor. You just took away its ability to rear. You just took away its ability to shut down on you. You just took away its ability to run off with you. You just took its ability away to push off. Everything comes down to left and right. Then as we get more advanced, up and down of the head controls how they go. If I want a horse animated and energetic, pick their head up, get their nose straight. If I want them relaxed and easy, get their head down, get their nose in. They're going to be softer and easier. For patience time, do you have to worry about any access to water? No, not unless you plan on leaving them for days. You know, if you're leaving them for 2, 3, 4 hours, they're standing doing nothing. I mean,
not in the dead of the heat, in the shade, like common sense considered.
Yeah, they're not in the desert, and we're not leaving them out in direct sunlight in the middle of the South summer. But no, not really. Even the Thai stalls that the Amish and stuff use, that they stand up and they're tied for 10 hours a day to make them as patient as can be, and they get turned out at night. They'll take them away from the Thai stall that has hay in it. So hay would be more, if you're going to put something and leave them, hay would be the thing that we would leave so they can munch on that and keep something in their stomach over water. Then
and get water breaks brought to them.
Then water, you would get a couple water breaks every couple hours. Evan wants to ask what he should do when his pony tosses her head. She does this when he is riding, and he tries to have her stop and stand still. If the horse is still tossing his head and getting stiff, get that horse to work off center, work power of the circle, work riding the eye. And since there's nothing to argue with and they're always getting pulled to the side and getting released, that horse is going to say, oh, there's nothing here to argue with, nobody here to argue with. Let me just give my face. When the horse gets soft, then they'll stop throwing their head. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the membership club that we're giving away for free. Free 99, free all day, free for the rest of the summer. Over 700 videos. Power of the circle. Check out the link in the bio below. Riding the eye. Again, both in the free membership. Have you had a lot of injuries over the years? I've been dinged up a little bit. Anything that can happen on a horse has happened to me. Rotational falls, flip over, landed on, kicked, got my head stepped on, got the wind knocked out of me, kicked in the side, kicked in the stomach.
But you specialize in problem horses.
Had my hat kicked off, been bit, been struck, been ran into trees, fences, all kinds of things. But what I will say, it's amazing how much my horses haven't gotten any easier over the years, but the amount of things that happen to me get so much fewer over the years. As I get better, as I get more educated, as I have a system in place, protocols in place, it really keeps me from getting banged up. Like in the beginning, the Colombian that works at the farm, he would come up in my rookie year, is there a day that you don't fall off a horse? It was like every day something was going on. I just didn't know. I didn't know where to be. I didn't know where not to be. I didn't know when to release pressure. I didn't know when to not cap the horse and give that horse all these life lessons that you learn through doing all this. That's kind of what I'm trying to give you guys. So instead of getting dinged up and binged up and injuries and hurt and stepped on and broken, I hope that you guys are riding broke horses, and I hope you can make them better. And I hope that I can help you understand what's broken and what's not. I've been on a lot of sketchy rides, and I look back on my past and I think, man, that didn't have to be a sketchy ride. I could have did this and this, that wouldn't have happened. So having this in place and having these thoughts in place, and you guys being able to benefit off of my experiences is really gonna help you out and keep you guys from getting injured. But have I been injured? Yeah, I've been banged up a little bit over the years.
Tracy's having my problem.
I end up whapping myself with the rope half of the time. That is part of it. In the beginning, when you're desensitizing, you'll whap yourself, you'll whap your dog, you'll whap your horse. But if you practice a day, just like me, for 12 hours a day, for 10 years straight, you will be a rope ninja just like me.
Or you could be like the rest of us that just slap ourselves continuously and occasionally get the results that we want. I get the results that I want. I just have all the marks to show it. Yeah. He makes the rope ninja look super easy.
Help with rearing on the ground when horse refuses. Horse can't rear up whenever it's disengaging. So how can I get those back feet crossing up? How can I get that horse softer and easier in the face and the butt? Do I need, maybe the horse is rearing up and saying no, and maybe I need a long whip so that I can get past his shoulder and pressure him on the hip to drive him forward to move his butt. But it all comes down, don't argue with the horse in a straight line. Don't argue with the horse from the ground or in the saddle. Can we get that bend in that horse? The second those shoulders break loose and you're able to cross those back feet up, everything happens in a straight line. That's where horses are strong. Horses are strong in a straight line with their head up, no straight. Horses are at their easiest with their head down and their nose to the side. So what can I do to get that horse's head down and nose to the side? I have a horse that I have trouble walking off. If I am trying to practice ground driving for the first time, any tips for getting a horse to move off when behind them? If I'm in front of him, no problems. If I come behind him, he stands still and won't walk forward. The exact same thing, Ms. Deborah. When I long line a horse and they don't want to move, I start walking to the left, which pulls them to the right until there's so much pressure on their face and their butt that their butt moves. And then I start walking circles around. Remember in first grade how I say never walk around the horse? With the long lines, you can walk around them because you're disengaging their hindquarters. Disengaging. As their face gets soft and their butt starts moving, they're going to be willing to move forward. Especially you're pulling on, let's say we're going to the right rein. That really frees up your left rein. So now you're disengaging. He's moving his back feet, Now you have a spare rein that's freed up. You can start popping him with it and clicking at the same time. And the second he takes a step forward, you're releasing that energy and just letting him walk out of it. That's how you're going to get him to move forward. What is the best way to introduce a new horse to my herd of 9? Unfortunately, Miss Tracy, just do it. Just like Nike. It's just horse nature. What transpires after that is just horse nature. Them coming up to each other and smelling each other and taking off running, bucking and kicking, that's just animals deciding who's on top of the totem pole. Now, granted, if you have a horse and you're trying to protect it, or you're trying to say, oh, I can't even afford that risk. This is my show horse, or this is my only good riding horse. Okay, the only way to avoid that is to not put them in together. And I know plenty of folks who have a group of horses and they have their good horse and they don't even want to risk it. They say, hey, I got one good horse, or this is my show horse, or this is a valuable horse that I don't even want to give a chance to. But if they're going to live with other horses, the only way to do it is for them to introduce themselves. I see people separating them, putting them back and separating them, putting a fence in between them. All that is just delaying the inevitable that when you remove those barriers, they're going to have that conversation, because that's just natural horse behavior.
All right. We have a video on that too in the membership.
We have a video on that in the membership that we're giving away for free. What?
How much coffee did you drink today?
A little bit. Best way to get scared.
Twitch.
Best way to get a scared, nervous horse on a trailer. When you don't have time to do the approach and retreat to make him crave the trailer and rest and stuff, need to load, get on, and go. All right.
2 methods. One we have a video of already, and one we're releasing a video.
First and foremost, let's put a disclaimer. Before we can pressure the horse onto the trailer, they have to give to pressure. So if your horse doesn't tie, if it doesn't lead, hey, we got one of our 3-year-old colts that's out in the field and he hurt himself in the field and he needs to go to the vet right now. We're going to back that trailer right up to the gate and we're going to shoo him in just like cattle, just like sheep, just like goats, just like everything that's not broke. For some reason, people think they need to lead the horse on, even if it's a horse that doesn't lead yet. always leads to a disaster. That's the only thing it leads to. Okay. So your horse is scared and nervous, but your horse gives the pressure. Your horse leads. Your horse is soft and easy. Okay. Now a different conversation. Number one, walk up into that trailer like you expect it to go. You wouldn't believe how many horses I see. They don't like trailers. They don't like trailers. They don't like Okay, can I give it a go? I just walk up on the trailer. When I step up above them, of course, they shut down, but I don't even look over my shoulder. I know that they're standing still, so I don't need to look at them. I keep walking. The lead rope is 15 foot. I keep walking until either I get to the end of the rope or I get to the front of the trailer. More times than not, that draw is going to bring them in. Okay, so say, oh, I tried that, but the horse has so much resistance and has won so many times that it's not going. Okay, cool. Next thing that I like to use, get your lasso, get your rope. Roping rope is my favorite. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get that loop and I'm going to put it over their butt. So one strand is on their back, the other one is above their hocks on their butt. And I'm going to walk forward, and like I said, I'm just going to walk in the trailer like I expect them to go with the lead rope. My lasso's in the other hand. And the moment he even hesitates, I'm going to goose him. So goosing means I'm not going to physically try to pull him up by his butt. I see a lot of people like making human chains and picking a horse up and pushing him in. Not going to do that. But I'll just grab the lasso and go, hey. And whenever they're looking at the trailer and they're worried about this and out of nowhere, something grabs them in the butt, boop, 9 times out of 10, that's going to do everything that you need. As a matter of fact, I just did that with a first-time loading horse today. That's going to be in our virtual clinics that we're working on for you guys because, boy, we're busy.
Every day.
All right, number 2.
All day.
The other way that I like to load a horse, so many of this approach and retreat and circle and stuff, that doesn't work. It does work because it wouldn't be a method if it didn't. But for the horses that I was raised with, you could do that forever. They would never get on. If you threaten them with work, Passos love to work. So they'll just run around in circles and look at you. And then every time you say, hey, do you want to stop working and get on the trailer? Like, no, I love working. Let me just run circles around you. In that case, horse already gives the pressure. Horse already ties. I like to get the lead rope, get inside the trailer, and go around one of the bars in the trailer and dally. That means a wrap, not a knot, just a wrap. Well, of course, they feel that and they sit back. What happens every time your horse sits back? They surge forward. Well, they go, and then they sit forward. I say, good boy, good girl, and take the slack out. Well, then they do it again, and then they come forward. Coming forward gets them a release. Sitting back gets them pressure. Crystal clear. So easy to understand for the horse. You do that for 2 minutes. I mean, I've had horses that are 5 years, they haven't been on a trailer because the client can't get them on a trailer.
Tell them about the clinic.
2 minutes of that.
The clinic where
I was at a clinic in Sarasota, and people loved the clinic. I mean, we were at like 15. There was a bunch of horses, and somebody came up to my client. My client is a Jewish lady from New York, very, very New York. You know, they're from New York, okay? Okay, a little feisty lady. And they asked, hey, can I borrow your clinician? We have a horse. We got 5 years ago. It came on a hauler. Hasn't left the farm since because nobody can get on a trailer. Multiple people have tried. 5 people at a time have tried to push it on, try to do all these things. No. Okay. We bring it out. We go over there. Okay, after the clinic, we'll go. We go over there. Everybody at the clinic follows us over. There's like 10 cars to go see this. Cool. Little spot of saddle horse. Cute enough. Broke enough. Go right up there. Catch him. Fine. We come around the barn and there's a trailer out front and that joker starts sitting down in the grass. I'm talking about 50 feet away. I attached a lasso to the end of my lead rope because he was that far away from the trailer. And I dallied around one of the rings on the outside of the trailer. And from 50 feet away, he'd sit back and then he'd launch forward. Well, he'd launch forward 10 feet. And I'd say, good boy. And I'd pull out the slack. He'd sit back again and launch forward another 10 feet forward. Now he's only 20 feet away. I pull out the slack. Then I move to the inside of the trailer and do the same thing. And the whole process took 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe. Horse gets on the trailer. I back him off. Oh, but you can't do it again. Just walked him on. He said, oh, okay, I'll get on. Well, I bet I can't do it. I say, here you go, man. She grabbed it. As soon as he felt the pressure behind his head, he got on. Okay. Well, I guess he does it. Thank you. She turned to my clinic host and said, do I really have to pay him his money for? He only worked for like 5 minutes. That lady lost her marbles. All the New York came out of her. You better pay that boy. It just comes down to clarity. If you can make it that clear, you can fix the issue. The name of the game in horsemanship and fixing a problem is as simple as this. Can you mentally pressure your horse without your horse mentally pressuring you? So many times when it comes to a trailer, since the trailer is a claustrophobic space, since the trailer, there's so much bad press around trailers, is people feel pressured and they get emotional. Well, you're already losing. We have to stay clear-minded and be able to outthink our horse. If you can do that, you can get any horse on a trailer.
There you go.
Can you suggest an exercise for a Pacey Tennessee Walker? I've had him a few months, and with conditioning and learning to keep his head a bit lower, he's better than he was, but still gets pacey when he speeds up. Great. Trot, one end of the spectrum. Pace on the other end of the spectrum. Gait is in the middle. Your trotty horse, you want to stop them with your hands high a couple times and drive their butt under them. Usually that's a lazy, head down, lethargic horse. Drive them, pick their head up, they're going to gait. Your pacey horse is usually opposite of that. Usually they're high-headed, not really well broke, tense and tight, nervous. We want to get their head down and get them soft and easy left and right. When you get that, horses don't pace in a circle. When you get that horse soft and easy, where he can go from a straight line to you pushing that shoulder out, a straight line, pushing that shoulder out, straight line, pushing that shoulder out, you'll get where you're showing him in a show ring. You're on the rail. There's nowhere for him to go. And you feel him pacing. You just pick up that inside leg, and he just bends his shoulders just a bit. That makes that inside back foot land first, and he starts gating for you right there in front of the judge. So it all comes down to how bendy, how soft. Head down is great, and then showing him how to keep his head down the faster he goes, really good. But the next thing you want to do is get him really soft left and right. And if you can do that, then you're really going to get that horse to gait all the time. It's been a long one, Robert. We've been doing a virtual clinic. We started at 4 this morning. We were up and out, and then from there we were doing virtual clinics. So we did videos all day. So we were working night shift, but we forgot that in night shift we're supposed to sleep during the day. Yeah, we forgot that part. So we just kept the coffee flowing all day long. It's starting to get to me.
Let's see. So this was the trailer loading.
He's a Morgan, can go all day in a circle. Absolutely. I know exactly what you mean. When I started watching trailer loading videos and started trying that with my horses, I felt like a complete and utter failure. And the reason I felt like a failure is because I was trying the exact wrong approach to my horses. So check out the video. We're about to put out another video. We already have trailer loading videos on the membership club, which is in the bio, which we're giving away for free.
Okay, good God. Stop drinking so much coffee.
And
you have one job. Say it one time.
We're doing another video in our virtual clinic. So keep your eyes open for that. And we're giving giveaways in the virtual clinic.
No.
Okay, so in these virtual clinics, we have some secret code words. Okay. So
he had one job, guys.
If you pick up on the secret code word, you're going to get something for free, and it's a big ticket item. It's something that you're going to want, but you got to watch the video, and you got to email the special code word. But I made sure to make it an inconspicuous word, so you're really going to have to listen closely to see if you can figure out what the secret code word is. That's on the virtual clinics, and that will be coming out.
The first one releases on Friday.
We'll have
more details about that.
Details.
Very sorry
that
the words he picked, you're definitely going to have to look on Google for how to spell them. One job.
They're inconspicuous words.
Are they?
Maybe.
Are they? Okay. And then this was on the Tennessee Walker question that we just did for Pace. She said she doesn't have that problem with her Paso. Her
Gotcha.
Paso's not Pacey. All right, Tracy, this is in regards to trailer loading after they learn to get on that way.
No, they don't back off hasty because they don't want to run into the rope. So it's the opposite of that. It almost stops that them wanting to sit back because here's pressure and here's release. So you almost have to back them off. You have to say, hey, back off now. So no, you dialing off and giving them one-way type of pressure is so freaking clear.
But these horses already have kindergarten. They've already learned to
they give the pressure. That's the whole thing. Is a lot of people are trying to have a conversation. The horse doesn't do obstacles. It's spooky. It doesn't give. When it gets spooked, it takes you or runs into you. And now we're trying to have a conversation about giving the pressure in a small metal box. Go through the respect series. Get your horse broke. If they are not that broke, just herd them on like cattle. There's this big misunderstanding that a horse that doesn't go through obstacles. So it's already telling you, I don't go through obstacles. If I'm scared, I will not go under saddle or in hand. I do not back out of your space. I do not give my face to left or right. That horse needs to be led onto a trailer. No, it doesn't. That horse needs to be shoed onto a trailer because basically that horse is cattle. That horse is not broke to pressure. That horse doesn't give. So when I'm telling you, hey, get them to use a butt rope or dally up, those are for horses that are broke that just for one reason or another have a little thing with the trailer. What you'll find is the vast majority, every single training horse that comes here, people put trailer loading on the paper. Every single one. Very rarely do we bring the trailer up to do trailer loading. Every single horse that comes here for training, they jump on the trailer to get out of here.
Like, see ya, I'm out.
What I mean by that is by the time they leave after 30 days, they give the pressure. They do obstacles. They go in the water. They go through the tunnel. They go up the stairs. They play soccer in big groups of horses. If you can get the horse to do all those uncomfortable things and go into it, the trailer's not going to be an issue. But so many times our horse has a hard time getting around a round pen. Our horse has a hard time riding out in the open. And that horse that doesn't give, that you're saying, I don't want to scare him because I can't hold him. That's the horse that you think you have a trailer problem. You don't have a trailer problem. You have your horse is not broke enough problem. And when you go through the respect series and you get that horse soft and easy, the trailer is just not a big deal. Is there anything you recommend other than spirals to get a barn sour horse to relax on the way back to the barn? Absolutely. So spirals are obviously my favorite, but maybe for whatever reason your horse got really good at them. What exercise in the respect series is your horse not good at? Does your horse have a hard time disengaging his hindquarters? Can you walk it on a loose rein when it speeds up, pick up and disengage his butt? If it disengages very well, then that's not a good exercise. Think about it like this. If you always do what your horse sucks at, what happens when you do something? I don't know if any of you guys out there suck at stuff, but I suck at a lot of things. So whenever I do one of those things that I am not proficient at, aka I suck at, it takes my undivided attention to do said thing. So a lot of these reprimands that you're giving your horse, they're only going to work until your horse becomes proficient at it. So disengaging your hindquarters of a horse only works when your horse is not good at it. Once they get really soft and easy with their butt, they can move their butt. Imagine if somebody punished me by trying to make me work a horse. I could work a horse.
Every day.
I can work a horse and read a book. Literally. I'm doing like realty classes and like studying realty and investing on an audio while I'm riding these horses that are trying to kill me. And it's just, it doesn't take any brain. It doesn't take any brain power for me to ride these horses. I can do it in my sleep. I've done it so much. Same thing for your horse. So if your horse is getting antsy or barn sour on the way back, what can we do? Can we work on dropping his head? Can we work on disengaging? Can we work on leg yields? Can we work on spins? A lot of the passes that get soft here but still want to go, I'll use that forward energy to work on their spin. I'll give them a loose rein. Every time they upshift, every time they pick a faster speed, I'll gather them up, spin them 2, 3, 4 circles. So moving their shoulders around, spinning them, and then I'll drop the reins back to them. They'll walk off for 2 or 3 strides. I'll spin them, and then give them their face back. Spinning is a lot of work, and it takes a lot of thinking. So very quickly, it's just one more thing to add to your repertoire. You already want the horse to get better at that, and they're not very proficient at it. You put those things together, and that is a recipe to get better at something, to improve.
Robert thinks I'm funny.
Oh, she's funny, all right. Funny looking with the bun on her head.
Hey. Easy.
No?
No.
Sorry.
Too far.
Okay.
Leave the bun out of it.
How much should we expect out of our foal? 10 days old now. Hey, he's got a day older. He's been giving his face, working on leading, and starting to pick up his feet. That's great. If you're working on leading, the same thing with the butt rope. I love a butt rope on a foal. And as much as your horse is willing to pick up, don't work the try out of him. Don't work him so much that he becomes sour to you. But as much as this is the way I look at it. I never want to be a horse's limitation. That's almost like a fear of mine, like a phobia. I don't want to be the one holding the horse back. So as long as they're willing to say, sure, no problem. Okay, no problem. Yes, no problem. I'm going to just keep layering it on until we get to a place where they say, I can't figure this one out. And then I'm going to work on that. So don't be afraid of giving them too much. Don't be afraid of, just remember, while you're getting them to lead, get him doing these things. He's still real small and you're kind of able to allow him in your bubble some. Soon thereafter, as he gets more mobile and as he gets more full of himself, make him respect your space. Make him respect your space. That's where most people go wrong with foal training, is in the beginning they seem harmless. So they just completely disregard the space. And within 6 months, it's a problem. So it's great to work with the horse. I love that they learn how to tie, how to lead, how to give the pressure, how to pick up their feet, all those things. Great. But make sure they respect your space as well. Thanks for the shoulder suggestion. He is a safe broke, but didn't know much except how to follow a quarter horse down the trail when I got him. Like, didn't even back on command. We fixed that fast. He's learning to move seat and legs, so the exercise is perfect for him. It's easy to practice on a trail too. Abso-freaking-lutely. And on the trail, you get a tree with some space to work around it. Power the circle around that tree, getting that horse soft and easy. Easiest way. Working around visual aid to move those shoulders is the easiest way, because the faster you ask the horse to go in a small circle, the more he's going to want to move out. You go fast on a merry-go-round, it almost feels like you're getting flung off. So that centrifugal force is helping you. So that's probably the easiest way to show that horse. Just apply that inside rein, that inside leg. You got him bent in a circle. He's going faster and faster. Take the outside leg and rein off and ease up on him whenever he steps over.
You struggling? Reading out loud. It's already on there.
Oh, I'm looking over here. So many comments.
You need me. What
is your advice to start a big half Arab Thunder again? He is a horse that was at your place and left with Jupiter. Get him soft. Old Thunder was a stiff-headed, reactive joker. I mean, he would.
If Michael remembers the horse's name, go through grade school again.
You definitely want to get that joker buttery, because Thunder, if you were walking in front of him, he would try to smash and run you over like you weren't even there. And if you were on the saddle, he had the Arabian mind, but the Frisian.
Build of a Frisian?
Yeah, he's half Arabian, half Frisian. And the Frisian side of him was the dullness. So he had the big reactions and big spook, but then he would lock up on his face and take the bridle and take you for a ride. So what is my advice to starting him and get him working? Get him soft. He's a heck of a horse whenever he's soft. So make sure that the power steering fluid is there. Make sure that no matter how much you swing a rope at him, or you jump at him, or throw a can bag at him, or whatever, he will not pull you. As long as you do that, he's super trained. He's got all kind of buttons. But, I mean, he's one of those horses. On Saturday, he's soft. You give him Sunday off. On Monday, you have to have another conversation about how he should be soft again. By Wednesday or Thursday, he's working good. By Friday, Saturday, he's an amazing horse. Sunday, he gets a day off. Monday, he's a stiff horse again. So if you're putting him back under saddle, you're getting him working again, it's all about giving him that power steering fluid and make sure he really respects your lead rope, your reins, your bridle, whatever you're putting on him. Hey, guys, I want to order a new McClellan saddle from you and pick it up at the October retreat. When should I order?
With COVID, as soon as possible. Shoot me an email. Better safe than sorry. It has been an interesting time. COVID is still the excuse for everything right now. All right.
Any suggestions to help get a horse back out of
kindergarten?
Rather than wanting to turn around and come out head first? Absolutely, Miss Lori. You get him soft in kindergarten. You do a lot of exercises, backing him up out of your space, backing him up with energy, getting him soft in first grade. So not just kindergarten, but first grade, where he won't pull his face from you. I imagine your horse is hard to back. And when I say hard to back, not that he just barely backs up, that you can't back him up with respect and energy. and stiff in the face, because the horse that turns around and takes his face from you has to be a stiff horse. You get him where he's more respectful of your lead rope than he is his urge to back up or turn around or do whatever he wants to, and he'll stop doing that. What age would you make him start respecting space? Sorry for all the questions. First time already. Now, if you want to
2 weeks ago.
if you want him to love him and hug him and hold him, that's fine, but do it on your terms. So the second you're holding him or loving him or laying him on the ground and laying him on your lap, that's fine. But when he comes and bumps into you and rubs on you on his own, that's when I'm going to start, hey, get out of my space. You have to invite him in. You have to give him permission. Okay, like he's a vampire. You have to invite him into your space. No?
Is this your call? You want to go home and watch vampire movies?
No.
Are you sure? Subtle hints.
I have a Paso who seems to be missing a gear. Corto is horrible. Rough trot to canter. Is this considered Trocha for Paso or operator error? Okay, one more time. Corto to horrible rough trot to canter.
She's gating into cantering.
Got you. Okay. So what happens is that horse being up here and driven into the bridle, that's not really how we're looking. You see all the Pasos that we have around here that just lope around. You see Chip that's on Facebook, or Fanny, or all these guys that I'm roping on that are so soft and easy. I'm telling them, when their head's up, let's gate. When I want them to canter, I'm putting their head down. You putting their head down is going to take away that bunny hop trot canter depart. When you put their head down, that's going to get them to smooth out, and it's going to get that lope out of them that you're looking for. But you got to show him how to put his head down. The other thing is, I don't want to, any gated horse, I don't want to show them how to canter out of a gate. The reason being, say your horse gates at 10 miles per hour. Cool. Then you kick the horse to canter and go faster. Awesome. Number one, he thinks canter means that's the fastest speed we have, so he's going to be always excited about canter. Number two, now tomorrow you go to get that horse to gate at 10 miles per hour. You get to 8 miles per hour and you squeeze him up for a little bit more gate, and he starts offering the canter instead, which breaks your gate. Both of those scenarios, not cool. But if every time our hands are up, the only thing we allow is gate. And then when we put our hands down and drop his head, from there, we ask him to canter very quickly. He says, oh, cantering, I don't have to be excited about, and it doesn't necessarily mean that we're flying and going fast. And number two, you'll still keep your top end gate speed. So just drop his head, get him soft and easy. In the beginning, it's going to be hard. I imagine he's going to be energetic, have his head up. No big deal. Break him loose, get him soft, and get his head down. And then ask him to go forward with his head down. That's how we're going to get him to canter quietly and not go through all those funky years.
Okay, cool. I think that's the last one.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
Before you do the pitch again, tell them about your clinics real quick.
I'll tell you guys what you want to see something. We are going to Graham, Washington, July 23rd and 24th. We are heading to Kenai, Alaska, hanging out with the bears and eating some salmon, August 6th and 7th. And we're going to Africa. What?
In August.
What I'm telling you guys, that on this membership that I'm giving away for free.
You had to, didn't you?
Sorry. I've been literally all over the world. So much so. And when I say all over the world, I've been all over the world picking up horse information from the best horse coaches, because I'm a culture vulture. I want to know who does it better than me, and I want to do what they're doing. Okay, who does it more efficient than me? I want to do what they're doing. Oh, who reins better than me? I want to do what they're doing. Who ropes better than me? That's what I want to do. So let me tell you how this journey is. That Africa, boom, going August 20th. It will be my last continent that I'll go to study on, to learn from, to go to a culture that has great horse people, great horsemen. I'll have done all 6 continents that have horses. That's how this journey has been. That's how much learning that have been able to get done over the past 10 years. And I put it all on one platform just for you guys. What's it called? The membership. What?
Okay. Tell them a little bit about the virtual clinics.
Virtual clinics. We are going to post one a week. That's what we're going to do.
And you made the
on Fridays. And we have special secret keywords.
Okay. Do you want me to give them?
No.
I'm not going to give them the answer. I'm going to give them like a little bit more detail than just randomly releasing on a Friday.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I scoot over because I didn't clean the rest of the office. We only have a small limited window of opportunity here. Yeah. Go.
Peace.
Nope, you're not leaving. Stay there. All right, guys. So for our virtual clinics, the way this is going to go is they're going to release through YouTube live on Fridays. I'm going to put all the information in the Facebook group for you guys. You'll have a way to sign up to make sure that you get the email with the link to get on there. It's not going to be blasted or everybody can see it. It's going to go live. We can watch it together. And what we did is we went through and we filmed every session with our training horses. If this is something that you guys end up liking, we're going to do this a lot. So if you can't come see us, you can't travel, diesel's $6 a gallon. We totally get it. So this is something that we can do to give back and not just share. Like a lot of times we do a clinic, everybody's on the same playing field. They've never met Michael before. These horses are all at the same stage, different part in their journey, but the same stage in our program. So it's just kind of 10 horses back to back going through these steps. Doing this with the training horses that are already in, it allows us to figure out where all of those horses are at in their journey with Michael and cover the session that they're doing right then. So like, for instance, we've been filming for 2 days and we've done Frisians, Arabians, we've done gaited horses, Passos, Gypsy Vanners. We're going to work a pony. We work spotted saddle horses, doing all different kinds of things. So everybody starts out at the same when they come in for their 30 days. They go through the grades, go through the respect series. When they get outside of that, they all go into their own thing that they're working on, depending on what they're struggling with. So once they get broke and they get handy and they get soft and their resistance goes away, then they're all kind of at different stages of working towards being the horse that the owner wants them to be. So based on whatever goals they came in with. Some of those horses are problem horses. Some of those horses have broken people. We have a Gypsy Vanner that broke a little kid, just bucked a little kid off and got shipped here like as soon as it happened. We've got a Frisian that ended up hurting her owner, end up hurting his owner, and being very pushy and very forward, reactive, very hot, but lazy at the same time, which is super interesting and frustrating. If you're a horse person, you've been there and your horse is a combination of all the things. It's very frustrating. So we're going to do this as a trial. Right now, we're looking at approximately 8 to 10 weeks worth of videos releasing every Friday. These are going to be an option for you to watch, get on our list so we can email you and give you that link directly, but not have to give you all of the other things. The cool thing about this, what Michael was talking about that he took way too far, is I said, hey, babe, at the end of your video, because I want people to stay on and watch till the end, at the end of your video, I want you to say a keyword that nobody's going to know. Nobody can just guess it, which he took that way too far. You will never guess these keywords. You can try if you want to shoot me an email and send me what you think the videos are going to be or what the word's going to be. Because these are live, if you're not watching it live, if you're watching it after the fact, you can fast forward, but that keyword is no longer usable for you because you didn't watch it live, right? So what if you're driving home in the vehicle, if you're hanging out at your house, put it on, wait for him to say this keyword towards the end. And the first person that gets that to my email at gasconhorsemanship@gmail.com, the first couple ones of those, we're going to give away a free retreat. So if you're the first person that hears that word, sends it to my email, please do not spell check it. If you cannot spell it, just get as close as possible. I will be able to understand it. Unfortunately, Michael went a little rogue on his animals and his colors. Very, very, very rogue, things that I would definitely have to Google to remember how to spell it correctly. Don't do that. It's the first person that gets it to me. If you watch it after the fact and you didn't watch it live, that keyword's already been used. So it's kind of first come, first serve, first person to hear it. The first couple, we're going to do a free retreat spot. I'm not sure what we're going to do for the others after that, but we want to kind of get everybody signed up for this. And yeah, it's going to be super fun. Let me see if I'm missing any questions on here. Robert, we will answer your question in the next horse talk. I'll make sure that I come back on here and get that. If you guys have any clerical questions, I'm going to throw this up right now while I'm talking to you guys. Hold on, just kidding. I should be able to, where's the word? I want to put, I don't know how to put this. I guess when I remove myself, it's going to put this back up for the membership. I will leave that on here if you guys have any questions. Once you get registered, if you have any problems as you go through the process, if you have any problems getting set up, please email me. Shelby and I are really bad about answering emails when we're not supposed to answer emails. So if you get an email at like 4 o'clock in the morning, it's definitely us like waking up, rolling over and answering an email. Very sorry. And if for some reason during the day it takes us a little bit to get back to you, we are actively in the business, out videoing, training horses, running around with our kids. We are very lucky that we have an amazing support system to help watch our baby and play musical babies with Shelby and the rest of the staff here. So I hope you guys have a fantastic night. There will be some kind of announcement, whether that's a live, a video that's going to go on this main Facebook page on the Horse Guru Michael Gascon, and also through our email. If you're already on our email list, if you've already subscribed for the membership, then we have your email to let you know how to get in for these virtual clinics. Super fun. We hope you guys love them. We would love suggestions if there's anything that you want to see covered. And we'll be seeing you very soon. Bye, guys. Everybody have a great night.